Hey everyone, welcome in. My name is Angie and you're on my YouTube channel entitled 60 and a Senior. I know, it's hard to believe. Today we're going to talk about what my personal most anticipated book releases are for July 2025. If you've stopped by my channel before, you may have noticed that the name has changed. My channel used to be entitled Angie's Book Adventures, but I recently decided to switch up the channel a little bit in hopes to get more views, maybe some new subscribers. And I just had a big birthday in April and I turned 60. So I changed the name of my channel to 60 and a Senior. So from my more mature point of view and my personal taste and the genres that I like to read, you're going to hear me talk about all bookish things. I do book reviews, I do monthly TBRs, I do monthly reading wrap-ups, and today we're going to talk about the new book releases for July of 2025. I think I have 11. So let's get started. Okay, of course I don't have any of these books yet, so I will pop the picture of the book cover on the screen so that you can see that, and we'll get started and I'll kind of give you a little bit of the synopsis from Goodreads. I'm a huge historical fiction fan, so of course several of these are historical fictions. The first one is The Collector of Burned Books by Rosanna White. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit to you, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. Goodreads already has this rated at 4.35. It is set in World War II. It says, in this gripping World War II historical novel about the power of words, two people from an unlikely friendship amid the Nazi occupation in Paris fight to preserve the truth that enemies of freedom long to destroy. Ever since the Nazi Party began burning books, German writers exiled for their opinions or heritage have been taking up residence in Paris. There they opened a library meant to celebrate the freedom of ideas and gathered every book on the banned list. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but if it's World War II, talking about banned books, I'm all for it. And it is expected to publish on July 15th. So these are in no date order. Okay, second book on my most anticipated new releases is a book that is scheduled to release on July 1st. It is also historical fiction, and the title of this book is Typewriter Beach by Meg Waite Clayton. And I'll pop the little title right there for you. And let me get the Goodreads thing up and I'll read you a little bit about it. Okay, I tried to read it before I came back on the screen to see if I could just give you a basic synopsis. So this actually has dual timelines. It initially is in, it is set in Hollywood and Carmel by the Sea in 1957, and there is an Oscar-nominated screenwriter and a young actress who become friends. And then it jumps to 2018, and 26-year-old screenwriter Gemma Shazan in Carmel to sell her grandfather's cottage finds a hidden safe full of secrets, raising questions about who the screenwriter, known simply as Shazan, really was and whether she can live up to his name. So it's set in Hollywood in 1957, and then it jumps to sort of present day in 2018. Historical fiction, comes out July 1st. Okay, number 3 is The Woman in Suite 11 by Ruth Ware. I'm a huge fan of Ruth Ware, but I have not read The Woman in Cabin 10. So I may get this book, but I'll definitely will have to go back and read The Woman in Cabin 10 first, because it is book number 2. It is scheduled to release on July 8th, and it says it's a follow-up to Ruth Ware's multi-million copy mega hit, The Women in Cabin 10, or The Woman in Cabin 10. This goes on and it says, Low Blacklock returns to attend the opening of a luxury hotel only to find herself in a white-knuckled race across Europe. When the invitation to attend the press opening of a luxury Swiss hotel arrives, it's like the answer to a prayer. And so evidently it's something along those same lines as the first book. So we'll see. I may pick it up, I may not. Okay, book number 4 is Last Stop, Union Station. I'll pop the title there, by Sarah James. This is also a historical fiction. I told you guys I was a huge historical fiction. Goodreads has already given it a rating of 4.4, and it is scheduled to publish on July 15th. So let me pull the Goodreads description up. Okay, this one is pretty short, so I'm probably going to read it. Murder, movie stars, and mystery await those who climb aboard this cross-country train inspired by the real-life history of the Hollywood Victory Caravan in 1942. Jacqueline Love's acting career is flailing. Suddenly, on the wrong side of 40, parts are drying up, directors are calling her difficult, and Humphrey Bogart has definitely stopped taking her calls. Desperate to cling to stardom, Jackie takes the only gig that will have her, the Hollywood Victory Caravan, a train full of movie stars crossing the country to fundraise for the war effort. Jackie wouldn't call herself patriotic, but with her life's work on the line, she'll do anything. When a fellow star dies on board, everyone assumes the death was a tragic accident, but Jackie isn't so sure. Stuck in Chicago's Union Station, Jackie enlists the help of Grace, one of the few women in the police force, to investigate. But difficult outside of a movie set is dangerous, and when the pair fall into a homegrown Nazi scheme, Jackie must ask herself what's more, her career or her country. So it sounds like it has a little patriotic theme going on as well. That goes great with the 4th of July, and it's scheduled to come out July 15th. Okay, and number 5, The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah James. No, I'm not sorry. Not Sarah James. Okay, let's do this again. The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. I had a book above that. That was by Sarah James. Sarah Beth Durst also wrote The Spell Shop. I do have that book. I have it for sale in my Pango bookstore. If you would like to purchase it, I'll leave a link in the description box. So this is the Spell Shop number 2 book, and it is in a cozy fantasy, and it's scheduled to come out July 15th. Now, I didn't read you much of the description about that one. I did not read the first one, and I am not really a big fantasy person, but I did hear it was more of like a cozy fantasy, so I'm assuming that this next one will be as well. I'm not interested in reading it, but if you guys are a fan of hers and you liked Spell Shop, I'm sure you'll like The Enchanted Greenhouse as well. Okay, next up is That Last Carolina Summer by Karen White, and I'll pop it right there. One of the reasons that I was drawn to this book is because it had Carolina in the name, and I'm a North Carolina gal. But in reading the description about this book, it is not set in North Carolina. It is set in South Carolina, in Charleston. The second thing that drew me to this book is that I read during the Christmas season last year, I read a Christmas book by this same author, Karen White, and absolutely loved her style of writing. And so I actually already have this one on pre-order. It is scheduled to publish on July 22nd. It's a mystery women's fiction category. It already has a Goodreads rating of 4.22. And it says, best-selling author Karen White returns with a brand new contemporary standalone novel about sisterhood, secrets, and one woman's reckoning with the past. As a child, Phoebe Manigault developed the gift of premonition after she was struck by lightning in the creeks near her Charleston home. Plagued throughout her life by mysterious dreams and always living in the shadow of her beautiful sister, Addie, Phoebe eventually moves to the West Coast as far from her family as possible. Now, years later, she is summoned back to South Carolina to help Addie care for their ailing mother. As Phoebe's return lures her back into deep-rooted tensions and conflicts, she is drawn towards Celeste, whose granddaughter went missing years ago. Their connection, woven through shared losses and hope, brings comfort to Phoebe, while Celeste's adult grandson, Liam, resurrects complicated emotions tied to Phoebe's past. But the longer Phoebe spends in her childhood home, the more her recurring nightmares intensify, bringing her closer to the shocking truth that will irrevocably change everything. The Last Carolina Summer is an unforgettable family drama and mystery about the unbreakable bonds of family and the gift of second chances. So I'm really excited about that one. That sounds like something I can relate to, and I've already got it on pre-order. Okay, the next one that I'm excited about is, I'm not going to be able to pronounce the author's last name, but it's Savvy Summers and the Sweet Potato Crimes is the name. I love all things about a sweet potato. Sweet potato pie, sweet potato casserole, eating a sweet potato by itself with a little butter, cinnamon, and brown sugar. I'm all about a sweet potato. So this sounded intriguing to me. It's a cozy mystery. It comes out July 29th, and the author is Sandra Jackson Opoku, O-P-O-K-U, Opoku, I'm not sure. Let me pull up the description. Okay, it says that this is a sparkling debut mystery set on the south side of Chicago, featuring the quick-witted, unforgettable Savvy Summers. So Savvy Summers is the character's name. She's the proprietor of a soul food cafe. When Savvy Summers first opened Essie's Soul Food Cafe, she never expected her customer favorite sweet potato pie to become the center of a murder investigation. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's kind of long, but that already has me hooked. Okay, the next one on the list is You Belong Here by Megan Miranda. I'll pop it right here. This is a mystery thriller, and I recently read a book by Megan Miranda. I believe it was entitled The Last House Guest. I think that was the name of it. And it was good. I like it. I love mystery thrillers, and this is what this one is. You Belong Here. It's scheduled to come out on July 29th. And this one says, a decades-old secret that drove a mother from her hometown now threatens her college-bound daughter in this twisty new thriller. Beckett Bowery never thought she'd return to Wyatt Valley, a picturesque college town in the Virginia mountains, steeped in tradition. Her roots there were strong. Beckett's parents taught at the college, and she never even imagined studying anywhere else until a tragedy her senior year ended with 2 local men dead and her roommate on the run, never to be seen again. For the last 2 decades, Beckett has done her best to keep her distance. But then her daughter, Delilah, secretly applies to Wyatt College and earns a full scholarship. And Beckett can only hope that her lingering fears are unfounded. But deep down, she knows that Wyatt Valley has a long memory and that the past isn't the only dangerous thing in town. So I like Megan Miranda. This one sounds intriguing. It's set in Virginia. I'm from the South. So I'll probably pre-order this one too. Okay, the next one that I'm excited about is coming out on July 8th. It is by Adriana Trigiana. I'm probably slaughtering her name. Adriana or Adriana, I'm not sure. And then Trigiana, last name. The View from Lake Como. I'm so sorry. I apologize to the author because I'm probably slaughtering her name. This is a contemporary fiction. So the description is very, very long. So I'm going to try to give it to you in a nutshell. So it looks like the primary character is a woman named Jess Barata, and she has recently been divorced, and she moves back into her parents' home in Lake Como, New Jersey. And she helps them, and she's the dutiful daughter, and she just feels like her life has no purpose. So, fueled by lost dreams, she takes fate into her own hands and escapes to her ancestral home, which is in Carrara, Italy. And there, from the magic mountains of Tuscany to the glittering streets of Milan and on the shores of the real Lake Como, she begins to carve a place in this new old world. Okay, so that last one sounds like it would be just a good summer read, contemporary women's fiction. Okay, two more. These Summer Storms, I'll pop the cover right here, by Sarah McLean. This is a good beach read. It is due to come out July 8th, and Goodreads already has given it a score of 4.24. Okay, so this description is pretty long too, so I'm not going to read it to you, but I'm going to try to give you a synopsis of it. So evidently our main character is a woman named Alice Storm, and she comes from a wealthy family in New England, and unlike her other siblings, she left home. Her other siblings stayed around home, stayed in the homestead and the home fires, trying to battle for their parents' approval. Well, she never thought she would come back to her home, but her father dies, and she goes back to the family's private island on Rhode Island, wants to attend the funeral, and then she wants to leave the minute the funeral is over. It says, unfortunately, her father had other plans. The eccentric, manipulative patriarch left his widow and their grown children a final challenge, an inheritance game designed to humiliate, devastate, and unravel the Storm family in ways both petty and life-altering. The rules of the game are clear. You must stay on the island for 1 week, complete the task, and receive the inheritance. And it does have a little bit more explanation. This sounds like it would just be a great beach read, and I'm looking forward to it coming out as well. We have one more, guys. This last one is probably not a book that I would normally gravitate to, but I thought it sounded cute, and it is considered a cozy fantasy, and the name of it is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana, I'm thinking is the way that that's pronounced, but I may be wrong. It is scheduled to come out July 15th. It has a 4.37 rating on Goodreads, and it says it is a whimsical and heartwarming novel about a witch who has a second chance to get her magical powers and her life back on track. Sarah Swan used to be one of the most powerful witches in Britain. Then she resurrected her great aunt Jasmine from the very recently dead, lost most of her magic, befriended a semi-villainous talking fox, and was exiled from her guild. Now she helps her aunt run an enchanted inn in Lancashire, where she deals with her quirky guest shenanigans, tries to keep said talking fox in check, and longs for the future that seems lost to her. So it just sounded like a cute story. So that's it. Those are my most anticipated new releases for July. I would love to hear what you are looking forward to reading in July. And if you have anything on pre-order, just drop it in the comments below. But this was my opinion from 60 and a senior. I hope you guys will keep watching. If you're not already subscribing, please subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. Y'all have a great day.